will call the August 2025 Vigo County Parks and Recreation Board meeting to order. Start with the roll call.
Abby Desborough.
Here.
Jeff Fisher. Eddie Adams.
Here.
Aaron Gadberry. Joe Newton.
Here.
Tabby Flynn.
Here.
Kylie Smith.
Here.
Oh, there you are.
There she is.
We'll give you some ladies.
Yeah. All right, we'll start with call for agenda additions or corrections.
Yeah, I forgot to add this, this month, a C for park employee comment, under comments number 5.
Okay. All right. Approval of July, August claims. Unless anybody has any questions, we'll seek a motion. So on our extra thing, we had two big ones. Are these the Griffin Bike Park building, Wood Miser?
Yep, Stroke Construction was the building, Wood Miser was the donation for the sawmill.
Oh,
Go get
yep.
this. Yep.
Motion to approve claims as submitted. I'll second.
All right, all in favor? Opposed? Okay, claims are approved. Approval of July minutes reports.
I'll make a motion to approve July minutes reports.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, minutes and reports are approved. All right, we'll start with comments from the public. Comments from board members? And then any comments from park employees?
Yes, we got a couple. I'll do mine first so I don't forget them. And then Tavy's got a couple things for you as well. One, I went to budget committee last week or week before. I think it went pretty well. We made as many cuts as we could, knowing the climate and financial uncertainty. So I think it went over pretty well in the scheme of things. In the same vein as budget, looking on the claim sheet there, gonna have to watch electric, probably have to transfer into it by the end of the year. Hope to not have to ask for more electric money. So I think right now we could probably limp by, wait to pay some bills till January. If it doesn't get any more worse off, then our gas bill, we're gonna start protecting some lines so we can transfer into our gasoline line that's getting pretty thin. But we've had a lot of projects that have cost a lot of fuel and took longer than we thought it was going to take. So hopefully that'll get a little less towards the end of the year, so we'll protect that. The guys did a great job on the basement there at the old packing plant along the river. Had a lot of great comments about that. Brian led the crew over there, chipping away concrete and filling the old basement, and it looks way better. Still working on county highways generous enough to haul in some dirt for us. I think they've got 6 more loads or so they need to haul in to be able to finish it off, straw seed it, and be good. But we don't want to plant grass till September anyways. So that worked out really well. Looks real nice. And then as you saw in the claims, we're going to go Thursday, get our new sawmill. They do a 4-hour training on the mill that they made for you, and then we haul it back, and then it's ours. So that was a complete donation, didn't cost us a dime. Matter of fact, he bought an attachment to it that cuts wood, supposed to be able to do shingles, wood shingles with it. Those cost us, if we can figure it out, it costs us a ton of money to buy a pallet of hand split cedar shakes to do our cabins. So we've got a ton of different uses I'm sure we'll find for that. Then lastly, my quick update for the overlook that everybody's been asking about. Talked to Mike Shaw with Earl Rogers. They're going to start that about the second week of September. It's dried up finally. He's out of the country here for about a week. When he gets back, they're going to hit the ground running and get ready to do the overlook project. So that's all for mine. Tavia's got a couple for you.
Yeah, so today we had our second meeting for our outdoor expo, which is pretty exciting. It's been in the works for a while, so we're excited to finally get the ball rolling on that. The Vigo County Parks and recreation department has taken a lead role on it. And we finally set a date today. So our outdoor expo will be April 18th and 19th of 2026, which is very exciting. And our goal is to bring in about 3,000 to 5,000 people and to highlight recreation opportunities in surrounding regions. And the event costs, we are expecting about $15,000, which we are hoping to get covered by sponsors and vendor fees.
Tavia's done a great job in taking that over. When she first got here, she did really well, hitting the ground running with the Griffin Bike Park banquet. I asked her if she wanted to plan another sort of big event, and she said yes. So that's when our department kind of took the lead. It kind of floundered for a year, so somebody was going to have to take the lead on it. And Tavia's kind of taken that lead, and I think it's going to be a really good, not only community, but regional event, where the chamber, Josh, is going to grab the other chambers and other communities, make 3-day packages where you stay in each county and participate in Sullivan Lake or whatever recreational opportunities are in that county. So that kind of brings everybody together in this hub. We've got a ton of things that are really going to be a draw for all kinds of different people: hiking, biking, fishing, hunting, camping. We're going to have it all there at that expo. So pretty exciting, but it's going to be more work on our end. That's why we made it in April, because it's a lot less busy for us in April in the scheme of things. But the fairgrounds is where we're hoping. We're trying to secure that today. So I believe Brian's last on our employee comment list.
So the last several weeks we've been putting a big push on Lot 47 property. Started out building a bridge. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Building a bridge there, and adding some volunteers. Several commissioners came out and cleared around the actual lot part, and then we redid the parking lot, got it all graded out, enlarged it for more cars, got a split rail around it, and we built a rock trail from it, and then you go down the staircase to the bridge. All looks real nice. And then Friday, thanks to Commissioner Clinkenbeard and Bill Watson from County Corrections, we had a big crew out there and got the trail cleared all the way to the lock. We got it all mulched, so appreciate the help there. We also got a bench back there, kind of overlooked the lock, so all looking real good. Hopefully be good for the grand opening.
The property, the parking lot is
Yeah, that's ours. Yep. About 3 feet off the end of that drainage pipe is not ours. Yep. Mark's come out and helped every work day so far, so he's been a driver of the work days and getting people out there. Last week was a lot better weather than the 2 previous weeks. We about lost people that day, so it'll be good. It'll be a really good time to open it, and I think it'll be a nice little place for people to go. So, I think that's it on comments. Unless you got any others? Unless Mikhail wants to say anything? No? Okay.
Then move on to capital improvement plan.
The only thing we really have is the building at Griffin. I think we're getting about 1 bill away from being done with the building. We went in, Tavia helped. I went, and Rich did most of it and painted the building, and it's all painted, ready to go. We're hoping here in a couple weeks to have our punch list to go through. Mid-September, get keys to a finished building, or at least mostly finished. We're going to try to have a ribbon cutting on October 17th. That's Friday evening. We wanted to do it this fall, right after the building's open, everything's fresh and new. We really didn't want to wait for an entire winter into the next June. October 17th was about the last day until January we could possibly do it. So we're going to have some live music. We're going to have some light finger foods, refreshments. We're going to start getting those invites out here shortly, and just have a time where we give tours of the building, talk about what the sections are going to be, have a campfire going out front, and just let everybody see the accomplishment. So definitely you guys are invited to come out and participate in some finger foods evening, October 17th, and I think we're gonna have a bonfire and some hot dogs too. So, but should be it on capital improvements. All right, old business. We got a few things to talk about. AMVET's been number one. Several of you had taken a walk through the AMVET's building. Took a look. We also had the West Terre Haute football, wrestling, 501c3 out to look at the building as well. We signed an extension with AMVET's. They're supposed to be moved out September 7th. We own the building. They're just still, I've not heard much other than I know they were organizing and moving some things last week when I was in there. So they should be out about September 7th. Then the big question for us is, what do we do with this building now? You know, once AMVET's is out, we own it. What are we going to do with it? Mike Peterson with Garmon come over, was nice enough to walk through the building, give us an estimate. It's leaking in 4 or 5 places. He said the bones are still good, the steel structure and the roofing's good, the block's good, the walls are good, but it's got mold in the back portion of the building. It's got some other issues, and it's an old building. His proposal was $4.7 million to renovate the building as it sits. Yeah. When I went through his line by line, and I can send you that estimate, when I went through his line by line, I deducted a little over $1 million of things that we didn't absolutely have to do. Mill and pave the parking lot. Some of the HVAC may still be good. I deducted where I knew I could right off the top. That goes to $3.5 million. That's still a lot of money. Right now, looking for feedback, but my takeaway, and I know I've talked to Abby and Eddie a lot and Kylie, it's a big building that really, I don't know what purpose it would serve with the layout that it is for $3.5 million. And that may be a little high. I also took off the contingency money, had 5% contingency. When I lowered the $3.5 million, I also lowered that contingency, so that's in that $3.5 million. Could we get out a little less than that? Maybe, but it's probably going to be half close to that. My feeling is that is a lot of money to put in a building that is not designed for what we would ever want it to be in the future. You're also going to eat, I don't know, their last utility bill was $1,700 for electricity. Probably not going to be that high. It was really hot. There's people in and out, but you're still going to eat utility bills until we can do something. The other issue there is we're hoping to have Banning Engineering come in and take that portion out of the floodway so that we can even build anything. We don't know 100% that we can even build on that until we get that out of the floodway through the state. So my feeling is once they're out, shut the doors, clean up the property, take out fencing, make it look nice on the outside. Know that you're probably not doing anything with the inside, and roll that into a larger project in the future. I think is the best route, in my opinion, to go on that building. For comparison, I went to Earl Rogers' building, Happiness Bag extension off their building. That's 13,000 square feet. And it's a steel structured roof. It's got a high ceiling. You could put a basketball court in there. I think they built that for $3 million, just for comparison. So I think future, better financial climate, better opportunities, and a year's worth of planning, you could bring this together into something that would function well for the community. That would be a design that you would have that would fit everybody for less money and take to renovate the building that stands. That is my thought. But I'm ready for feedback. So. They had I think it was a rolled roofing overlay. Do you know, Mark, what they did? I think it was an overlaid roof. Yeah, on the flat roof. They'd done a fix in 2016, I think it was, and I think it's the rolled stuff that rolls over the edge. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 80,000 was S&G's number to tear it down. Yeah. Yeah. In that vein, I talked to Scott, I talked to, they walked the building with me in AMVETS, and they're supportive either direction that we go. If it's lock the doors, come up with a conceptual plan, come up, grab partners and make this a community thing, they're supportive of that and they'll help that direction. If it's, we want to try to save this building and put $3.5 million plus into it, they're supportive of that as well. Big picture, it's more of a, if we do something else there, it's a community-oriented thing that's not just the football league, it's not just wrestling, it's a community project that they're going to be a huge driver and a help for, but a part of it. So that's I think they're supportive either way. Right now, if you can't get it out of the floodway, you can pull a one-time permit for half the appraised value of the building, is my understanding. The appraised value is $330,000, I think it was. So you can only put half that in improvements. Unless you get it out of the floodway, then you can do what you need to do. You also have to look at septic. Right now, there's dry wells, no septic. To get septic, you're gonna have to get it out of the floodway. So it all hinges on this 20-month process to get it out of the floodway. Yeah. Like I said, by the time you do your grade shots, submit things to the state, do this changes the state wants, get a ruling from the state, it's an additional 3 to 6 months or something before you can ever touch it, even after the approval. If we know we're going to vacate the building, we winterize it, shut off utilities to it, and leave it.
And having gone through it, that has very it has goals, but it's what we want in the future. And it's a lot layout, there's so much more.
Yeah. Yeah, just let me know. The bowling alley's gone.
The bowling alley is just a, yeah. Yeah, the lights don't work. I think it's just gonna take a lot of money and expenses of keeping those, utilities on.
Mhm. I'll take you through it.
No, yeah,
So,
I suggest so you look for yourself. Yeah. It just kind of came out of, I think, the last meeting, we started talking about it. I'm really excited at the fact that people want to invest in my area and how our market's going to go, because that's really going to be something in the future, so I appreciate that they would work with the company, but just possibility. But great for that community. Yeah, that's what West Coast.
It'll be a expensive, long process. It's $20 or $21,000 to banning take it out, or trying to take it out. Submit the paperwork to take it out. Yeah. Mhm. If it doesn't come out, you'd have to apply for construction and floodway permit to demo the building and then demo it and not build anything else. It really wouldn't matter at that point. You'd have to demo it and know you're not gonna build anything. 80,000. I'm sure it's a little outdated by now. It was, I don't remember when they met me over there. 3 or 4 months, 5 months ago maybe. I said, we. Hmm. I don't think so. Just the sunk floor section. And we can leave it there. There's nothing to say that we can't turn stream here in the next 2 or 3 months and do something different. If something presents, I don't know what it would be, but we can just not turn on some utilities that are going to cost us money. Leave it set, clean up around it. Nothing says that we can't turn around if somebody wants to donate $5 million and put a basketball court inside and do whatever. There's nothing saying we can't turn stream and do that, but right now work towards the goal, if that's the consensus, to work towards the very real possibility of tearing it down and turning focus to something else. They were waiting on the health department for their final inspection. I'm not real sure when that's going to be, but. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If we're going to demo, I'm a little less worried about what things they take out exactly. If we were going to try to renovate and move in, I'd like everything gone. If we're going to demo, I don't know that matters too terribly much what's left. Any other thoughts? So I don't know that we really need to necessarily vote on anything other than the consensus of what direction we think we're moving. Maybe the official vote, I think, would come when you sign a contract to demo a building and make that final call, which would probably be rolled into a larger project at that point. It would make sense, I think, to demo that building while you're constructing the next building, if it's in that same site. Maybe it's going to move, maybe it's not a building at all, we don't know. But I think it makes sense if you're going to focus on doing something new to have that contractor do all that work at one time. Any thoughts? feel like it needs to be a vote on direction? I'm asking, I don't know.
Just makes it so cheap.
Yeah, okay. Just a consensus for now that we all kind of know probably what direction we're moving, but nothing in concrete yet. Okay. Any other thoughts? I've had some really positive conversation with a lot of people in the community that are very interested in helping us in future endeavors. So, I think there'll be a lot more to come for that here in the coming months. All right, I think that is all I have for old business. New business, we have our opening September 6th for the Riley Lock, or the Lock 47 Park. That's what it's called now. So come on out at 10 a.m. The Canal Society is going to be out there. They're going to have a booth and talk to people about the Wabash and Erie Canal, and we'll be giving tours back and forth. And Mr. Sturgeon gave us permission to park cars in the adjacent field, so that'll help. Not a lot of parking in the parking lot that we built out there, so that'll help significantly. So come on out at 10 a.m. and take a look at it. So, I think it's 18. Yeah. Yeah, all the woods plus a little past the woods to the south. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I believe Jeff Kaler, I believe, is coming too. So, the last thing I've got on new business, and Abby, since I talked to you, we changed stream a little bit. I wanted to slow down a little bit on the vendor agreement. After talking with Rich and Jerry today, I think we should just discuss it, figure out what stream we want to go here, and then vote on it next meeting. I think we'll still have time to do that. It'll be very tight, but we get the keys to our building hopefully finished with a punch list mid-September. It's been the goal to have a pro shop in that building. Unfortunately, right now, apparently the biking climate is not super. We had a terrible time to have a vendor move in for this particular pro shop, but Jerry was willing to come in, see if he could turn any kind of profit out of it in a short-term agreement. So the agreement that you have that I've got as a placeholder right now would be starting on our grand opening date, October 27th, running until February 1st. I put 2025, it's supposed to be 2026. Yeah, it's a placeholder. Then October 17th. Pretty much a grand opening on our opening day, ribbon cutting. Run from there to February 1st. Open on Saturdays and Sundays. We're still debating times, but hoping for 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then he'll agree to be open on all events, larger events, any type of event. The pro shop will be open. The rest of the time, Rich's office is there. He's going to have the building open a lot of times, 8 to 4, Monday to Friday. We've got a part-time that we're looking to offset some time so that we can open it weekdays and evenings a little bit longer. We're still trying to come up with what's the best operational time and what can we do without additional staff. Jerry wants to see how successful it'll be. I think it'd be pretty busy late October into November, and then it's probably going to tail off a little bit. The other unknown is when we start renting that out, birthday parties and other things can be in that building. I think it's going to have a substantial amount of traffic, but nobody's going to know how much they're going to be interested in, and Jerry doesn't know either. So there's a lot of other conversations at that point in time of what that looks like. But right now, no money exchanged. He'll give us his financial report after this trial period. let us know if he was able to even make it, let us know if he's even interested at that point. If not, Rich and I have talked about Plan B that I think would work pretty well. If he thinks it's wildly successful, then we can talk about an agreement. I think the most intelligent agreement after February would be anything over $1,000. We split profit 50-50, or it's hard to put a number on when you don't know what's coming. But he needs $1,000 a month at least to keep the doors open and think that he's going to make anything. But we can have months of discussion on what that will look like after October, November. Right now, he just wants to get his feet wet, feel this out, see how it's going to work for everybody, see if he's going to have the clientele base there to keep him operational. You know, he needs people changing tubes, changing tires, you know, maintenance stuff, and buying some of his stuff to make it float. And he's not exactly sure if that's going to be enough. I think once we get a rental fleet going, then we're looking at a lot more opportunity when it's rented and people are in there a lot from May to November. I think could be wildly successful, but nobody knows yet. So, any questions on the placeholder agreement? Just, sorry, go ahead. And it helps us keep the building open. There's value, I guess, not monetarily, but having somebody there that has the building open and we don't have to be there on weekends. So that helps. At that point, you're almost open 7 days a week most of the time. But he's trying to sell some bikes and work on stuff and things of that nature. So I think it makes sense other than monetarily for a short term to feel out what's going on. What I will mention is we sent out the RFP to Keith's Bike Garage, Pilson's Pedal Works, Jay's Bikes, and Crossroads. Keith's Bike Garage would rather us hire him. We purchase all tools and merchandise ourselves. That's an employee. Then Pilson's wasn't interested at this time. They just expanded their shop. Crossroads wasn't interested as he's one employee in this shop and not ready to expand. So Jay's was the only of the four we sent an RFP to directly that expressed interest in moving into the building. Unless Tabby knows of anybody else that would be interested. I have no idea, but I can check. I will check. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you have any questions on it, we've got a month to think about it, and I'll take this placeholder agreement to Jerry, see what he thinks about it, and we'll call the other and make sure. At this point in time, I feel like we sent out the RFP to 4 people and only 1 responded. If he wants to make a short-term agreement right now, reevaluate in February, maybe that's when we send a proposal of, okay, this is what we're thinking. You gotta compete with this. But if you have any questions on the agreement, let me know. I'll talk to Jerry. I'll have him come next meeting. Any questions you have for him, I'm sure he'll answer. And if we so choose, then he can sign that day. If he's the vendor that gets in there, we all want to push people that direction. We want, to let everybody know who's moving in, who's going to be there, and who's going to be available to service their bikes and what times. So, the Friends would sell T-shirts, fundraising items, water, things of that nature when they're around. Our part-time guy and some others is kind of fundraising, additional money opportunity. So those 2 items would be separate. You'd have the bike shop and the maintenance side, pro shop area, then you'd have sales that Friends group is running more so Rich when he's in his office and things of that nature for a donation to the park. So trying to generate more funds for the bike park through that sale opportunity. So, if there's no questions about that, I actually think that's all I have and way quicker than I thought we'd do it.